Good morning, Cedar Park. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Veronica. Welcome to Cedar Park News.
Today is Friday, March 23rd.
It's cycle day 1 for all classes today. Here are today's announcements.
Let's take a look at today's weather. The high for today will be 45 degrees
and the low will be 29 degrees.
You guys ready to take off your coats and have some fun?
So what's for lunch? Listen close to Mrs. Pierce's class. Here's today's lunch.
We'll be having Italian dunkers with dipping sauce.
Plus a variety of cold sandwiches and milk.
Yay!
Check it out. Next week is spring break, so there's no school next week. That means 7 days to do whatever you want.
Let's goof off on break and come back calm.
Sports.
March Madness has started.
After Loyola's win on Sunday 63-62 with an amazingly lucky basket, Loyola is cruising along the bracket.
When the number 7 seed, Texas A&M, beat the number 2 seed, North Carolina, 86-65, I'm guessing lots of people are surprised.
I
think Villanova's going to win it all.
I think Loyola's going to win it all.
Check out March Madness if you hadn't already. CPN Special Report.
Enjoy our special interview with Mr. Bartlett, our building chief.
And a special look at how the boom works at Cedar Park.
We're going to the boiler room.
So down here is the boiler room. We have 2 boilers. I don't know if you want to walk around and see the other one. Here's the second boiler. So you can see we got 2 boilers here. I'll show you something else real quick. This is our emergency generator. In case we were to lose power to the building, this is our backup source of power. Runs off diesel fuel, diesel engine from a bus, actually. So this is our backup generator, so we always have electricity for mainly our network, our computer system, emergency lights. So the reason there's 2 boilers is in case when it gets super cold, you know, when it's 30, 40 below wind chill outside, it takes both these boilers running to heat up the water to heat the building. And the other reason is in case one of them were to have a part that fails and goes down and is not operating, we still have one other boiler that can keep heating the building the best it can. So throughout the school, this hot water gets heated up by the boilers and runs through pipes. And anywhere there's a classroom or there's a window, you'll see a radiator along the window. So that hot water goes through pipes inside that radiator, so it radiates the heat from the hot water. And the other way we heat the building with the hot water is over there they're called air handling units. So we have one for the gymnasiums and one for the cafeteria. Well, inside each air handler is what we call a coil. So it's like a giant radiator inside the box there. So the hot water goes through the coil, the radiator, and there's inside the fan units, it's a big drum. So what it does is it spins, it pulls that heat off the radiator, and it sends it up through the ductwork. So out of the ceiling, you'll get warm air blowing out of the ceiling. So there's two ways we heat the building, from radiating heat just from the pipes, and then also the fans. The fans will blow warm air too into the classrooms. And at night, when everybody is gone, everyone is home, the temperature drops in the whole building. It's called a setback point. So everything will slow down and it'll drop to 62 degrees. And then in the morning, I have everything start up at 6 in the morning, so it gives it a good few hours to warm the building back up from 62 degrees up to around 69, 70 degrees. So when you kids arrive here, the building's warm and comfortable. It's not cold. Hallway, so it goes through, I believe, this gym here, and it's underground, and the tunnel runs all the way down to the main hallway there. And in the tunnel is all the piping for the sprinkler system and the hot water pipes that deliver hot water to mainly the two big fan units that are up in the upstairs mechanical room. So like you saw downstairs, we have two air handlers. Well, there's two bigger ones in the upstairs mechanical room. And those two fan units provide the forced air heat that come out of the ceilings to heat the building. And same thing, there's a hot water pipe that goes to each fan unit, and there's a giant radiator inside, and that hot boiler water runs through that radiator, and when that big drum fan spins inside the air handler, it pulls all that heat off the radiator and sends it down all the ventilation pipes into everyone's rooms to warm the building. So, should we do your questions? You got any questions for me?
Yeah. Okay. Have you seen any scary creatures down there?
Only if I saw a reflection of myself.
When was the last time you had to repair a machine down there?
A machine? Well, just so happened it was one of my vacation days. I was off. It was the first day back from winter break. And what happened is in one of the fan units downstairs that you saw, so that delivers the forced air heat to the gymnasiums. What happened is, so you got this shaft that runs through that big drum to help it spin. Well, on each end is a bearing. So the bearings help that shaft to spin smoothly. Well, one of the bearings went bad, and when that stopped moving, it kind of froze up, and the shaft was still spinning. Well, the end of the shaft got ripped right off. And so the whole air handler had to be taken apart as far as the shaft, the drum, and we had no heat in the gymnasiums because of that. So there's a special shop in Lakeville where they had to fabricate, they had to build a whole brand new shaft for that air handling unit so we can put it back together and then get the heat back into the gymnasiums.
Have you ever experienced any severe or minor fires?
Not inside the building.
When did you first come to Cedar Park?
Actually, I remember that date real well. My first day working at Cedar Park was April 28th, 2014. The building chief that was here, Ben Fader, they needed him to help with district-wide maintenance. So these guys are specialists, so if there's something I need help with to fix in the building, these guys are more specialized. They know more than I do, and they can help me out to fix stuff. So Ben moved up to do that job, and they needed somebody here because I was at Woodland Elementary in Egan. So my big boss came to me up at Woodland and asked if I was interested in coming to Cedar Park to fill in as the building chief. So actually when I got here, I was just filling in. I was called an interim building chief. And then eventually Ben, he got the job working district-wide maintenance. And then so the building chief position was open here, and I applied for it and I interviewed for it, and Mr. Garcia hired me to be the permanent building chief here. Long-winded answer, but that's the story.
Have you won any special awards?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was selected for an Outstanding Service Award from the school district. And I will receive that award on April 26th of this year. So.
One question about you. What is What's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings. My favorite hockey team is the Minnesota Wild. My favorite baseball team is the Minnesota Twins. My favorite basketball team is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota.
Yay! Since the first day you were here at our school, what do you think was the highest temperature in the boiler room?
The highest temperature? In the summertime, the way it operates is if we have summer programs in the building, then I get to run the air conditioning in the building to keep it cool. Now, like this summer, we're not going to have any summer activities here at all, so I'm not allowed to turn on the air conditioning once school is out, so it's going to probably get pretty hot in here.
Also, great job on doing that.
What's that?
And thanks for letting us interview.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always happy to help out.
All right.
Now for the joke of the day. Hey Caleb, what type of tree has a lot of hands?
I don't know, Carnival. What kind of tree has a lot of hands?
A palm tree. Ha ha ha. This joke was made by Bryn in Miss Clinger's class.
Today in STEM history. Today in 1905, Sir John Randall was born. He was an English physicist whose improvements to the cavity magnetron, the microwave generating device, was a major help to winning World War II.
A magnetron is now commonplace in homes inside microwaves.
For your information.
Monday, April 2nd is School Spirit Day at Dairy Queen for Cedar Park.
And Tuesday, April 3rd is Culver's Community Day for Cedar Park.
Yay!
Thank you for joining us today.
Have a great Friday.
Students may now stand and lead their teachers in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag